Well, I had a couple of friends that came to my house. My mother had a piano, and they were in a cappella choir, and they were learning this new song. And I got to singing around with them, and they said, well, you need to come try out for a cappella choir. I said, no, that's not my cup of tea. Well, they actually forced me to go in and audition. And I did, and I made a cappella choir, but I don't read music. I don't know one note from another. I don't know tempo. I don't know anything, but I can follow and I can sing. After getting into a cappella choir, I became a member of the boys' quartet. And we would do the old standards like Chattanooga Choo Choo and, you know, the old standards that used to be around. And then in about 1953, a guy by the name of Elvis Presley came through Odessa, Texas. And man, the music was so lively, and girls were so enthused by, by him and all of the gyro effects and things like that. So we decided, the boys quartet decided, that we wanted to start singing that kind of music on the side, not for a school deal, but on the side. But we didn't really know anybody that was interested in that music like we were, and two of the members of the boys quartet had ukuleles. So we got to doing some of Presley's songs and some of the doo-wop songs, and our instrumentation were the ukuleles. And we did a lot of programs around Odessa, like your service civic clubs. We would go do those, and sometimes even for a high school dance we would do it, and it'd be the four of us singing and playing those two ukuleles. I don't actually remember that much about the ukuleles. I know that there was a little difference in the tone and the sound, but as to which one was which, I don't know. But the first and second tenor of the group were the ones that had the ukuleles. Jimmy Williams and Johnny Martin were their names. The only amplification that we used was the actual sound system of the auditorium, or if it was a civic club, you know, they would have a microphone. But as far as producing a good sound, that didn't really do it. So most of the time it was just natural voices and the ukuleles. Well, the original Four Roses, by the way, we got our name from the bourbon Four Roses, because everything was four back in those days. And nearly all of the legitimate sound sane names were gone, so there was a bourbon called Four Roses, so we decided on that. Anyway, we had teamed up with Roy Orbison, and we're doing gigs around Odessa. And he took us back to Memphis, Tennessee to Sun Records, and we did a couple of songs back there with him. And of course at that time Sam Phillips had Presley, and he had Jerry Lee Lewis and Carl Perkins and Johnny Cash. So he really wasn't interested in Roy at that time. So Roy decided he wanted to come to Clovis. Well, the other three Four Roses were still in high school, and they didn't want to come up here because it would take away from their schooling. I was enrolled in Odessa Junior College, but that was about it. I didn't attend too many classes. So I formed a new group. And Ray Rush and Robert Linville were members of that group. So we came to Clovis with Roy, Clovis, New Mexico. And I guess Norman Petty liked us or liked our sound, but he invited us to come up here and become his staff vocalist. And we came and signed a contract with him and everything. And about the first group that we recorded with of any notoriety was Buddy Knox, who had just recently recorded Party Doll. And so we did work with him and his band members, Jimmy Boyne and Don Lanier. And then after that, we teamed up with Buddy Holly, did some songs with him, and did some more work with Roy. In fact, the The Ooby Dooby that you hear now was actually recorded here in Clovis, New Mexico, but Roy was under contract with Sam at the time, so he bought the master tape and took it to Sam. Sam listened to it and decided that maybe there was something to Roy Orbison. But I think Norman Petty today, because not being a certified musician, so to speak, I thank him for the opportunity to have been able to participate for a couple of years in the music business.